I will never forget this notebook. I started journaling in this. I had gotten out of a relationship fairly recently, and I was applying for law school, and there was just like a lot of uncertainty in my life. And I wanted to be able to process my feelings a little bit more and understand what I wanted out of life. I also like journaling because I like to be able to go back and look at it again afterwards. And I haven't looked at this in a while. So I wanted to look at it on camera and then also get some inspiration for journaling that I want to do in the future. As much as this was a difficult time in my life, it was a time where I had a lot of free time, and I don't really have that anymore. I feel like now I have some of the least amount of time I think I've ever had. I know that's just going to keep decreasing because eventually I want a family, I want children, and so the amount of time one has for themselves is just going to get smaller and smaller. So anyway, I wanted to use this as some inspiration just to look at the things I was thinking about when I had lots of free time. So this first entry was just me talking about how I was creating this journal to go on a new path of self-discovery. I started off by saying, I'm 24 years old and I still do not know who I am. No, I'm not exaggerating. I feel like I've spent my entire life pretending to be perfect and please others to the point where I do not even know who I am anymore. I don't know who I am, what I want, or what I want. I've been doing a lot of things I hate and have been getting no joy. And I've been doing a lot of what I wanted and still no joy. Girl, I am still right there. Then I have goals. So I'm setting goals for myself. Law school. My second goal was self-discovery, figuring out a solo trip, which is actually something that I ended up doing. I went on a solo trip in 2017 for just under 3 months, which is kind of a lot. Get fit. So I wanted to exercise daily, eat healthy, friendships, connect with friends, and French, which is something I'm actually thinking of picking up again. I might want to do more French. And so then I have one page here, which is like, who am I? And then I talk about all of the qualities that I have, who I am, what I like. And then the next page, it says, who do I want to be? And I have a list of things that I want to be. Oh, that's really nice. Then I have pages about what I miss about being in a relationship and what I don't miss. It's interesting. What I really want to do. And I remember, I have one here, my perfect day. And I just talk about what my perfect day would look like. It's kind of funny to look at this now because I don't think that I would say this is my perfect day anymore. So wake up, work out, eat a yummy breakfast. I still do like that. I love a big breakfast. Read The Economist. That's my perfect day, apparently. Then I go hang out with a boyfriend. We go to the market. Then we go to an art exhibit. Go to a restaurant. I make pasta. Go hang out with friends for potluck dinner. Do yoga. Fall asleep in my boyfriend's arms. Very cute. Bucket list of things that I want to do. I should do an updated bucket list, actually. It's kind of interesting because these have kind of stayed the same. Like, one of them is direct and produce a documentary, become multilingual. I still want to do that. DJ at a friend's party. Still want to do that. Take a solo trip. I've done. Start my own business. I mean, I'm not making money from YouTube, but I kind of think of this as like a business. Go skydiving. I kind of don't want to do that anymore. Write a book and perform in a poetry slam. I kind of did that already. Then I have a page here about what I want in a future partner. I have my self-care list, so things I like to do to relieve stress, yoga, read a book, manicure, at-home spa day, listen to music with candles, journaling, bath, write poetry, dinner or drinks with friends, go for a hike, hang out at the park, watch a foreign film, film a YouTube video. It's kind of interesting because I was filming on YouTube back then. I've hidden all of those videos, but I was filming then. Then what makes me unique? Areas I want to grow in creatively, and then I kind of like zeroed in on a few. Acting, YouTube, and then producing. I've always been really into like hip hop and like people like Jay Dilla and their beats. I just think it's like so amazing. So I'd wanted to learn how to do that. I don't know if I really want to learn how to do that anymore. Just don't know if I have the time. Right. And then I'd read Steal Like an Artist. And so I was sort of writing based on that. Then I have a journal page. What makes me feel loved? And then I sort of was using it as a diary. more diary pages, lesson learned in 2017, and then goal setting for 2017. Right, then I did this level 10 life. I actually think I have a YouTube video on this where it was like a way to track my goals for the new year. It's a very interesting goal setting method, actually. I might look into it again. I liked it because it forces you to focus on more than just like certain goals. Like there's a goal section for like finances. So what are my goals there? Career, my physical environment, my health and fitness. Just allowed me to then start thinking of goals as more than just like accomplishing X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, your goal is to like have your space look the way you want it to look, to be like physically fit. And I have one page here all about me being an INFJ, which I still am. And this is January 2017. Oh, I wrote a little bit of poetry here. Questions I have about Christianity. Yeah, I remember, like, I think at this point in time I was still living at home, so like going to church with my family a lot, and I had a lot of questions about things that I was hearing at church, and so I had a lot of questions. Gratitude log. I think I'm going to try and do that again. So it's like a list of all of the days of the month, and then you just write one thing you're grateful for every day. I've really been trying to implement more gratitude in my life, and I think that's a really good way to do it. I also have been wanting to have more creativity in my life, and I think, like, obviously YouTube is a way to do that, but I'd also been thinking of a bullet journal, which was something I used to do, and I just think it could be a nice way to add more creativity into my day-to-day. So positives, things I'm happy about in terms of my life right now, and things that are not working in my life right now. And I think I need to do that. I think I'm going to do that page today because I focus on the negative so much when like my life is really, really great right now and I need to stop complaining. Here I was taking some notes. I was reading this book about, I can't remember what it was called, but like how to create friends when you're not in school. And so I was sort of reflecting on some of the ideas in that book. Then some more like journaling, things that I want to study and learn. Oh yeah, and then this was when I started reading. I started reading in French and watching French television. And so I was like keeping track of it. I used to really like being creative like this. Like it's just, I think in colors. So it's ways to motivate myself to do things. I watched, what's it called? Game of Thrones in French. And then I was reading Persepolis en français. I think this was me just like reflecting on life, travel, places I want to travel to. Here I was like, oh, I really want to find more time to read. And I have a list. I don't know why I am this way. I have a list of literature I want to read, and it's The Apology by Plato, Crito by Plato, The Republic by Plato, Politics by Aristotle, The Prince by Machiavelli, Leviathan by Hobbes, Second Treatise by Locke, Discourse and Inequality by Rousseau, The Social Contract by Rousseau, Democracy in America by de Tocqueville. That's probably why those are so many of the books that I have. Like I own The Prince, Politics, The Republic. I don't think I own the Leviathan. I do own those two Rousseau books. Probably explains why I bought them. 2018. I think that might have been when I was back home. No, this was December. Okay, so that must have been after my first year of law school. And yeah, then I was writing about the meaning of marriage. So I still have some blank pages. I don't know if I want to continue working in here or if I want to work in another book, but really great, sort of gave me good ideas for like journaling ideas, journaling prompts. So I think some that have really stood out to me are like reflecting on my life. So thinking about positives that are happening in my life and negatives. And then I sort of was doing it in a chart. So then you can see these are all the good things that are happening in my life and these are the negatives. I really liked the journal entries I did where I was like focusing on my perfect day, or you know, what a perfect Saturday would look like, what a perfect work day would look like. Because I think part of it is also just like you visualize your perfect life and then start working towards it if at all possible. Like when I was looking at my perfect day, I was like, oh, I kind of do that now. So I guess it's shown that, you know, that was my vision and I've started creating that for myself. And now that I'm older, I want something a little bit different. I also like the gratitude One, the gratitude log, I'm going to do that and every day write something that I'm grateful for and that I'm happy about. I also just in general like sort of like visually tracking my progress. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to get back into bullet journaling, because I think, even looking at like my TikTok and how it grows, my YouTube and how it grows, like having sort of visual representations of that are visually pleasing really helps me to relax. So those might be the sort of things I work on like after work. You can spend 30 minutes being creative and like coloring, but I don't really like coloring books because I don't feel like I'm being productive when I'm using a coloring book. So something like this where maybe like every day I create a page in my bullet journal or like a new spread or come up with spread ideas. Like I think that would be something that I would really like doing. And I think one of the first spreads I'm going to do is like a gratitude log. Other things that I like doing are reflecting on things. So, if you're going through a breakup, thinking about the negatives about that, but then also the positives. And I've always wanted to do sort of like similar to All the Boys I've Ever Loved Before. I've actually never watched that movie, but just felt like a really nice like journal prompt to reflect on some of my past relationships and like what worked and what didn't work. Also focusing on like some of possibly my negative parts of myself that didn't allow some things to work. Yeah, I think I just in general want to get back into journaling on a regular basis. And I think what really stood out to me in here and what I really liked about it was like my use of color. So even something as simple as, I just want to show a page that doesn't have like too much personal information. Like sometimes I would do this. It's like very simple. It's like very simple in terms of the colors, but it just like stands out to me a bit more. So I think using colors for my pages helps me. And then I showed you that my perfect day, you just have the color here and then you're writing around it. Like I think those are very easy ways to still feel like you're able to be creative and it doesn't feel like just like writing in a journal. And also it's just a little bit more visually appealing to come back to and read, but still feel like you're able to do it on a regular basis. It's not too much work. So that's what I struggle with bullet journaling. Sometimes I'm like, I don't have 3 hours to spend setting that up every Friday or every weekend. Thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, this channel is all about re-education and decolonizing the mind. A few years ago, I went on a journey to re-educate and decolonize my own mind, and I created this channel as a way to share what I'm reading and learning with the world. If you are interested in following along with me on this journey, feel free to subscribe.